From the Arkansas Weather Watchers Weather Center, this is a severe weather alert.
Alrighty, good evening everyone. Let me go over to our graphic system real fast here, so give me just a second. There we go. Alright guys, good evening here. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Check audio levels real quick. I think I'm good over here. So just making sure we get some folks in and see if we can make sure that we're good to go every day here. We're going to talk about tomorrow's severe weather threat here. I've got a lot to talk about in terms of the timing, in terms of the hazards and all that good stuff here. So just want to make sure I've got everybody here before I get started here. So hopefully you guys are actually able to get out today. You know, it was, the last 2 days here have actually been pretty nice here in Arkansas. So you guys know full well whenever it's nice here in Arkansas, it don't last long. So I think we've got a good amount of people in right now here. Just trying to make sure I get everybody in general, because I've had a lot of people ask about, the timing and, when it's going to be happening and everything here. So just waiting for a good amount of people to come in here and then we'll get started, guys. So while I'm waiting on everyone, I'll talk about the severe threat for tomorrow here. Much of Arkansas is in this level 3 area for the potential of seeing significant severe weather. Mainly it's going to be for the potential of seeing significant damaging winds upwards to 70 to 80 miles per hour. And also that tornado threat here has definitely increased over the last day or so here. We're going to talk more about that coming up here in just a second here. So I think we've got a good amount of people here. Just a quick reminder, like when we're live, unless we're live, when situations like this, we don't answer specific location questions. So it's best that you guys know where you live and everything like that here, okay? So let me go ahead and go back here, and I'm going to start with this. And I thought I had it in my graphic system. I do. Awesome. Okay. This is the number one question that I get. I actually, a fun fact, I had somebody get mad at me the last time we had a Q&A because I didn't go over timing fast enough, guys. So I'm going to start it off with the timing map going forward here. So what I want you guys to do, the ones that are joining in, screenshot this, do whatever you got to do. If you got somebody that's asking for timing, this is it. Okay, I'm going to go over it later in the live stream, but I'm going to start the live stream with the timing map here because I've had a lot of people get upset about it and everything. I understand, but we have to go over the information first, right? So we're going to talk about Western Arkansas here. So from Fayetteville, Harrison, Fort Smith, all the way down towards the Texarkana area here, I'm going to start you guys off about noon tomorrow. Now, here is where things are going to get rather tricky for tomorrow's setup here. The timing of the cold front is going to be the key. Let's just be honest here. So if the front boundary is faster, then you go from being noon to 10, 11 o'clock in the morning. If the cold front is slower, then you're talking a later time frame in the afternoon and into the evening here. So right now, based off of everything that I have seen here, and I want to give a quick shout out to our folks up there in Mountain Home at Little T's Mini Golf for getting us this timing graphic. From everything that we have seen, right now, I think Western Arkansas is going to be right around lunch tomorrow to be starting off, especially up here in this northwestern corner from Fort Smith over towards the Fayetteville area here. Then I think overall that general area, that zone 1, I think from 1 p.m. to 4 is going to be your main timing. Western Arkansas, primarily northwestern Arkansas, your threat for severe weather is a lot lower compared to someone else that is over here in central and eastern Arkansas. So some folks up here, Harrison, Fort Smith, Fayetteville, you may not even see any rain out of this. It just really depends on when does the cold front move in and when does storms start to initiate, okay? I think everybody in Western Arkansas should easily be done by this by 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, and then you go about your business as we move into Sunday evening and a Sunday night. Now, for our Zone 2 areas here, from Mount Home, Batesville, Conway, Cabot, Little Rock, Russellville, Hot Springs, Sheridan, Arkadelphia, all the way down towards El Dorado and Magnolia, and even just to the east of Texarkana and Hope area. This is Zone 2, and I think in this particular area is where the greatest severe threat is going to be and also to the east, okay? So we're going to start you guys right around 2 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. I want you guys to read this very, very, very closely. Timing is subject to change, okay? Be patient with us. You got to remember, we're not robots. We don't just generate these graphics out of a computer screen. There's a lot of thought that goes into these timing maps. So right now we feel comfortable that this will be an early start at 2 p.m. Things should really start to ramp up by 3, 4, 5 o'clock, getting towards 6 o'clock across the area. Things should be clearing out by 7. This is going to be not a very long duration severe threat, but it's going to be a very impactful one, because a lot of people, I think we've got the baseball game, Derek, here in Little Rock. We got a lot of outdoor activities tomorrow here. So it is going to be rather impactful with it being during the afternoon and into the evening here, okay? Everybody in this zone 2 area should be done by 7 o'clock. We should be over and done with by 7. We're going to watch the data tonight, and we're going to watch the data first thing tomorrow morning, and we're going to see how this time map evolves over the next 12 hours. Eastern Arkansas, Batesville, just to the east of Batesville, over towards Walnut Ridge, Jonesboro, Blytheville, Wynn, West Memphis, all the way down towards Lake Village and cross it. I think if anybody in the state has a pretty decent chance of seeing significant severe weather, which does include the potential of strong tornadoes, it is going to be in this zone 3 area here. Okay, I think this area over here in eastern Arkansas has the higher potential of seeing significant severe weather. Does not mean anybody to the west from there is not going to see anything, but I think you guys are going to have the better timing, the better dynamics. I think you guys are going to have the better shot over here in eastern Arkansas for the potential of seeing significant severe weather. I think things should start ramping up, especially the western zone over here, right around 5 p.m. tomorrow evening. I think from 6 p.m. till 10 is going to be your main time frame for eastern Arkansas. Everything in terms of severe weather, we should be announcing an all clear for everybody by the time we get into 11 o'clock tomorrow night. But I want to stress, timing is going to be stressful, guys. Okay, not stressful. Well, it is stressful, but it's going to be crucial. Okay, it's subject to change, especially over the next 12 hours here, because we need to see if this front boundary is going to be fast or it's going to slow down. I already see some questions about that front boundary and what would happen if it slows down or it speeds up. If it speeds up, the severe threat gets pretty much cut in half for everybody, and it goes out towards our folks to the east. That's Mississippi, Tennessee, Alabama, into the southeast. But if this were to slow down by another hour or two, then you will run a very, very significant risk, especially in this zone 3 area, for the potential of seeing significant severe weather here. So I hope everybody got a good look at this timing map. I think we've got everybody that was here, they got a good look at it. We are going to talk about the other hazards real quick. Once I get through all the graphics, I'll answer you guys' questions, but I wanted to start off with timing because this is where everybody's joining in now and they want to figure out what's going on here, okay? So I'm going to step off for just a second. If you need to screenshot this or whatnot, just looking at the couple of comments real quickly here. I see a couple of questions I'm already going to get to as soon as we get past the graphics here, okay? So I think we're good here. Let's go ahead and go over to our next graphic real fast here. So this is going to be the tornado threat for tomorrow here, okay? This is another high impact question that everybody has here, and for the right reason. My folks over here in western Arkansas, especially for northwestern Arkansas, you guys are not under any sort of tornado threat tomorrow, okay? And it's mainly because of the fact of the speed of the front. Now, I want to urge some caution with that here. If that front boundary is slower, then this tornado threat gets bumped into northwestern Arkansas. So you guys up there in northwest Arkansas that's listening to this, that's Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Solon Springs, those areas over there, be mindful of severe weather tomorrow. Don't be shocked if you don't see anything. Regardless, you are going to have very, very windy conditions across the area tomorrow. Easily 30 to 40 mile per hour, non-thunderstorm winds tomorrow. This is a very strong cold front that's pushing through the area here, okay? So Jonesboro, Little Rock, Stuttgart, Pine Bluff, El Dorado, over towards Texarkana, Waldron, and Harrison area. In this generalized yellow zone, you're going to run the risk of seeing isolated tornadoes here. Now, if you guys have kept up with the Storm Prediction Center's new format, you guys know full well that anyone in this risk, especially for tomorrow, carries a significant tornado threat too. So don't let your guard down because you're not in this red zone over here in eastern Arkansas. There still could be folks in central, southern, northeastern Arkansas that still has that EF2 potential here with these isolated tornado threats here. So you gotta watch it. But like I mentioned just earlier, I think if anybody in the state, if I were to put put this all on a graphic and say, hey, who has the highest potential of seeing significant severe weather, it is going to be from Blytheville, Wynne, West Memphis, Helena, DeWitt, all the way down towards Crossett over here along the Mississippi River. I think that is where your best potential of seeing significant tornadoes, significant damaging winds, etc. over there closer to the Mississippi River. But I don't want anybody west of there letting their guard down, because we do not know exactly when storms are going to develop. We've made a educated guess on, hey, this is the best time for storms to develop, but we can't predict like, hey, wind's going to get hit by, a tornado at 6 o'clock p.m. We can't do that. But we can give you a certain time frame and say, hey, this is the time to watch for severe weather. So like I said before, anybody that's along the Mississippi River, I would watch very closely. Further to the west, I would let my guard down for tomorrow. I want to talk about this too, because like I said before, with the new format from the Storm Prediction Center, they now hatch those very low and low risk areas here. So what we've done here is we've taken that hatched area and we just put it to where they have it. So pretty much from Mount Home all the way down towards the Queen, further to the east, main threat for the potential of seeing EF2 plus tornadoes will be there if a tornado threat were to be realized. You got to realize something too. Storms have to take advantage of the environment. The environment can be there all day. It's just like having the ingredients. It can be there all day, but a storm has to literally take those ingredients and make something out of it. And if it does, it becomes mature. It becomes, really strong wise. It can easily become a tornado, and that tornado will carry that strong tornado potential here from central Arkansas, southern Arkansas, northern Arkansas, all the way over towards the Mississippi River here, okay? So let's talk about this, and this is going to be the wind potential. I think this is the number one threat for tomorrow here, regardless of tornadoes and anything like that. Damaging winds is the number one threat, okay? So my folks over there in western Arkansas, it's going to depend on when storm development actually gets going. If you don't see any storms, regardless, you're going to have 40 to 50 mile per hour wind gusts behind the cold front itself. I want to make that clear. So once the cold front's passed, you feel those cold winds, you're done. But you could still have power outage potential behind the cold front, because this is a very powerful storm system moving our way, for it being mid-March. Walnut Ridge, all the way down towards Little Rock, El Dorado, Texarkana. We think in this particular area here, you could see significant wind potential here with those thunderstorms that were to get going. We're talking 60 upwards to 70 mile per hour plus winds across the area. This is not a guarantee, but it's I would say if you have a storm, or you have, like, let's say you're playing football, you have a player, what is his potential? What is his ceiling? That's the ceiling. The ceiling is 60 to 75 mile per hour winds possible in this dark red zone across central Arkansas, northern Arkansas, and southern. And then eastern Arkansas, and I've been stressing this, along the Mississippi River is where I think you're going to have the best potential of seeing significant severe weather here. Some areas in this area, especially if you get a severe storm really going, could easily have winds upwards to 80 plus miles per hour here. So that's why the Storm Prediction Center has really highlighted that area over there in eastern and northeastern Arkansas for that significant thunderstorm wind potential for tomorrow. Talking about that significant wind potential here, they've also hatched this area for much of Arkansas just in case these storms out here in western Arkansas realize their potential early. Also, you're going to have the potential of seeing 70 plus mile per hour winds if storms realize the environment that they have. The better confidence is over here in that purple zone that you saw. But everybody to the west has that attendant risk, if that makes sense here. It's just, like I said before, it's the new SPC outlines of what they have here. So they've hatched even the areas here that are in a lower risk compared to everybody else further to the east here, okay? So the large hail threat here, quick shout out to our folks over there in Conway, Encore Paintless, hail repair over here, dent repair, excuse me. I think our best areas is going to be in eastern and southeastern Arkansas for the potential of seeing significant hail. This particular risk does not scream significant hail. In particular, because it just depends on if storms can really get going. If they do get going, you could see 2-inch in diameter hail plus over here in eastern and southeastern Arkansas. So we'll keep an eye on here, especially, let's take a look at this. This is your significant hail intensity graphic here. I think from Blytheville all the way down towards the Texarkana area, if storms were to get going and they don't get sheared apart immediately, I think you will have a 2-inch in diameter hail potential with that, but we'll keep an eye on here, okay? So one last graphic, and then we'll start getting into the questions here, because I think I've got a list mile wide of questions over here. I want to talk to you guys about our weather call service here, okay? Taylor or one of my guys, if y'all can get that link into the comments and pin it, that'd be great. This service here, I'm going to stress right now, mainly use it for warnings, okay? We found out the last event that this particular weather call service has a watch flaw. So basically what happens is a tornado watch gets issued, right? Okay. Well, if the National Weather Service does not issue another tornado watch and they just simply extend it, it will not send you a text notification. I've already talked to John about it. We've already got it working into progress, and we're going to get that taken care of here relatively soon. But until then, this is a really great service for warnings, okay? So you'll get a phone call from me personally. It will tell you, if you're in threat for high winds, for tornadoes or large hail. It did great the other night when we had the overnight event here in Arkansas. And then also for folks that are traveling, this time of year, a lot of folks like to go camping. They go out of town or whatnot. It has a Find Me feature on here. So that way, if you find yourself like in Oklahoma or somewhere, it will let you know there as well here. Yes, it is $15 a year, folks, but that $15 a year could easily save your life, especially when it comes to severe weather here in Arkansas. So let's go ahead. I'm going to go back to the timing real quick. And Derek, you got me pulled up over there. Let's get into some questions real quick.
Well, first off, I do want to mention this is something a very good one, just to bring up, because one thing about it is that everybody looks at the tornado risk. Nobody really looks at the damaging wind risk when it comes to severe storms, time and time again. And we always want to reiterate that we do have the threat for damaging winds, and tomorrow could be one of those days where your wind risk is elevated. And I would not be shocked if somewhere goes into that SIG 2 for wind. I don't know if that's going to be northeast Arkansas or further north, but that being said, tomorrow has a very high ceiling, but also a very high floor.
Another thing I want to add to that comment too, Derek, is from Rose, is, it's not only just your thunderstorm wind damage potential that you have. Behind this cold front, folks, you're going to have 40 to 50 mile per hour wind, non-thunderstorm, because this is a very, very powerful dynamic system moving our way for it being mid-March. So I would not be shocked late Sunday evening, Sunday night, going early first thing Monday morning, that we have additional power outage potential just from the northerly winds coming in behind the system here. So I do want to make that clear to you. It's a great comment, Rose, about making sure that you pay attention to the wind potential for tomorrow, because I think that's probably going to be where 90% everybody sees and deals with, if that makes sense. I think the tornado threat is there, but you got to get a storm to develop, and you got to get the storm to mature and become severe and all the other stuff before you start talking the tornado threat here. But I think everybody in general should see a wind potential out of this, as we move into tomorrow here. So I see the comments coming in left and right here. And also a simple reminder, guys, be kind in the comments, okay? So we've got moderators that have zero issue blocking. Okay, we're not here to play kid games. You play a kid game, you're going to get a kid prize, and it's going to be a block. So we're not dealing with that, guys. This is a very serious situation here when we talk about severe weather here. If you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all here. So I saw this. Those snow chances have been removed because of the fact that this system is moving so fast. It's cold air chasing moisture, if that makes sense. So you're not going to get a lot of snow behind this. There could be some flurries up there in North Arkansas Monday morning. Nothing to really sweat about, and it's not going to cause any significant issues here. So I saw this one comment. It's from Derek. Hey, Derek. Let's see. Could Woodruff County see possibly 80 miles per hour winds if storms get their act together? Absolutely yes. Absolutely. That is a number one concern of mine. If storms are able to get themselves together, they don't get sheared apart and it becomes a line, then yes, if they can realize that high potential, that high ceiling that they have in place tomorrow, they will be capable of 80 plus mile per hour winds here. That's another great comment from Derek the man himself. So, Jeffrey's going to be out spotting in his fire department as usual. We appreciate you for being out there, brother, here. Let's see. So from Elise, the wind threat is very high for a large part of the state here, so it's very possible. That's the number one thing I want to address here is the wind potential. Everybody, most of the state is going to see some sort of wind tomorrow. It's going to be a very breezy day, regardless if you see severe weather in terms of severe thunderstorms or not. The wind potential is going to be there tomorrow. I want to make that crystal clear. Ahead of the front or behind the front, you're going to be dealing with gusty winds tomorrow here. That's the number one thing here. It's just the severe weather potential with the severe thunderstorms and the tornado threat is something that we've got to keep an eye on here. So I love that comment from Austin. That's what I live by, brother. You play stupid games, you win a stupid prize, and that's normally that block button. So let me see here. Yeah, you got it.
People want just okay.
Yeah.
They answered it in the comments.
Okay, yeah, I see it here.
Stay with it live.
Yeah, they got it. So I love this comment. This is a super chat on YouTube here. So what advice would y'all give to help me convince folks to take severe weather more seriously? Found I have a tendency to not listen to, have found many have a tendency not to listen or not to locally. I'm not sure. But I'll answer your question here. So what I can do is give you an example. I'm not going to say the particular word, you guys. If my team members know my favorite phrase that I like to use during severe weather, but I can't say it because it's not appropriate. In this particular situation, Little Rock had a problem like that a couple of years ago, where we kept getting missed by tornadoes left and right. Nothing really happened in Little Rock. It always missed us or whatnot. And then March 31st happened. March 31st happened. Somebody got hit by EF3 tornado, and the perspective changed. So my advice to you, for folks that are listening to this, I get there's a lot of hype on social media nowadays. Okay, this is not where we've been doing this for 11 years. Back in 2014, you didn't have everybody and your mother's posting stuff. You had your mainstream channels, and then obviously that was really it. You didn't have what we have now. My advice would be is every severe weather threat, you take it seriously because you never know. That's just how it is. I can sit up here in a suit all day and tell you what time, what risk and everything. Derek can do the same. Everybody else can do the same thing across the state. But we cannot predict that, somebody takes a hit from an EF3 tornado. That happened up there in Michigan with the last event. Wasn't expecting any tornadoes up there. Supercell went rogue. What was it? What did it end up getting confirmed? A 3 or a 4? Oh, 3?
Yep.
A 3. So that stuff happens when it comes to severe weather, guys. Okay? You got to take it seriously. If nothing happens, just go by your day. Just go by your day. You don't have to cause a fuss. You don't have to get upset with people. And I understand it changes plans and all that. But it's one thing to get upset with winter weather than it is with severe weather. Severe weather is a threat to life and property. Winter weather, I understand to a point. I understand to a point with winter weather. But severe weather, you got to take it seriously every single time here. So quick thank you. And also, by the way, if you're on YouTube, if you send a super chat like he did, I'm more bound to answer your question because it stands out. So if you guys could do that, that'd be great. But obviously it's not required. But if you guys do that, it helps your chances of getting your question on here. So let's see here. I have access to a I see Chandler's coming. I'm going to get Chandler's coming in just a second here. So is there going to be a cap in place for tomorrow? Yes and no. Tomorrow's storm system is carrying, you know what, this is a great example. I knew I was going to use this bottle. Okay, so the Coke Zero in here is your buoyancy, your instability, your moisture and everything. And then this lid on top is your cap, okay? So what happens in situations like tomorrow is your system is so strong, it blows the lid off, okay? So the problem you have for tomorrow is, can this front slow down just enough to allow storms to pop off? It's not so much as they're going to be capped off. It's so much as if you have a cold front that's literally plowing through the state, your storms are not going to have time to get going because they'll be undercut. So that's why I said the speed of the frontal boundary is pretty much key tomorrow. If things slow down, then you have better shot of seeing significant severe weather. And I worry, and I saw Ryan Vaughn's post last night about this too, and he shares a similar concern about northeastern and eastern Arkansas. If this thing slows down, I would be very worried about a significant tornado event over here in eastern and northeastern Arkansas for tomorrow. So we've got to watch that very, very closely here. Okay, so I don't see it. I don't see it tab for a super chat. If do what?
Read the comment up there.
What's up? Never better duo than than me and a Coke Zero. Yeah, I gotta have it. I gotta have it, folks. It keeps me going. I gotta have it here. So,
Hey, Cameron.
Yeah.
Were you gonna show? Because I know you had worked on the tornado parameter thing for tomorrow.
Yep, I can show that graphically here. Okay, so give me just a second, and we're gonna do this. Okay, so I am going to pause it right here. So this is at 2 o'clock. Okay, well 3. Looks like it. I finally got it to pause. Beautiful. Okay, this is a very brand new graphic from us. We sit down and pretty much put all the model data together into a blended solution here. Okay, so this is something that you're not going to see on a model product or anywhere. This is all in-house for us here at Arkansas Weather Watchers. Okay, so this is the significant tornado parameter for tomorrow. So for folks that are asking, about specific areas, about who's going to see what, this puts it all into one graphic. Okay, puts it all into one graphic, and it tells you what you need to know. So this is at 3 o'clock tomorrow here. So notice, my folks over here in northwestern Arkansas, you're pretty much done. You're done with severe weather by the time we get into the afternoon here. So I don't think you're going to see much over there in northwest Arkansas except for the wind potential for tomorrow. But my folks over here, especially in this central Arkansas area, are going to have to watch it, okay? Highway 64, along Interstate 30, we're going to have to watch it right through here, guys, okay? This is, like I said before, an in-house model. This is not a HOR product or a other product or anything like that. This is something that we built in-house for particular situations like this here, okay? So let's go ahead and go over just a little bit more, and I'm gonna pause it right here at about 5 o'clock here, okay? I may need to go back. Matter of fact, let me go back here just a second here. Let me go back here. So let me take this back. Give me 1 second here. It's gonna jump because this is so he doesn't blend into the background. I'm seeing those comments, by the way. Y'all aren't slick. I see those comments. So give me just a second here. Let me go over here, and I may need to get it to do it just a second here. Like I said, this is a kind of an experimental product here, so I need to get like a sliding board for it. But you know what? Give me a second. I may have broken it. That would broke it. So give me a second here. There we go. All right. So there we go here. So it's going to go through, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause it right here. All right. So that's 4 o'clock. So what it's wanting to do in particular here, like I said before, this is kind of a blended solution of all your short range data. It's blended in, and it kind of tells you what's going on here. By the way, weather enthusiasts, it's not the National Weather Service blend of models. It's not that at all. It's actually a collection of everything into one particular product. So pretty much my concern, like I've had across eastern Arkansas, really wants to highlight this particular area here. And I think what's going on is the frontal boundary is crashing in across western Arkansas at 4 o'clock. Derek, you know what the cool part about this product is? That cold front's getting hung up in the mountains up here in northwestern Arkansas. That's what's going on. It's getting hung up. So what happens is frontal boundary gets hung up there from the mountains, and then you have these prefrontal supercells that develop across north central Arkansas and down there in southwest Arkansas. So I wouldn't take this and run with it, but it gives us a kind of like a hot spot of, hey, you might want to watch this area for tomorrow here. And it goes from there. So, yeah, go ahead. What you got?
I'm going to add something to that as well. Yeah. So, this product, we were test running on Tuesday night. Before that, or during. Yeah. So, during our severe weather event, where we had the ones that went through, or was it Thursday night?
It was Friday night and Saturday, and then it was Tuesday and Wednesday.
Right. And so, with the ones that happened down there, like we just had a tornado confirmed in Sevier County. So this product actually hit that head on. So we tested it because we didn't really, we wanted to see how it ran for a couple of runs before we brought it out for this event. But knowing that this is a very good product, we do tend to take it kind of verbatim. You know, obviously, again, this is not saying you're going to have a tornado outbreak in Conway. But what it's saying is this is the best chance of where that area could be. And I will also add to that data has been honing in on a potential of 2 or 3 supercells that move east ahead of the line. So it's something we're going to have to watch as we go into the daytime hours tomorrow.
Yeah, so that's pretty much what, like Derek just hit it right on the nail. It pretty much explains what this product is here, guys. And, you know, I see a couple of comments, too, about, I saw one in particular, you know, about the enhanced risk being a little bit further to the west. Well, your problem here with that is you don't know when storms are going to develop. That's your problem, okay? So you gotta, if you're in Storm Prediction Center's hands, you're saying, hey, if storms develop out west and I don't have an enhanced risk out here, then obviously you know what happens after that. So it's based off of confidence and forecast. The reason why they have it that far west is because it runs that potential if storms develop faster than what model data is wanting to put out. That's the cool part about this product too, is it's not really model data heavy. It uses 33% of the models, and then it uses the other percentage for, like, based off of what this setup's been in the past. It uses a lot of data here to kind of generate this kind of stuff, guys. So just some cool stuff on our way here. But let's take a look a little further here, and I'm going to go ahead and kind of speed blitz through this. And she'll be playing coming up here in just a second here. I thought I had it playing. Oh, nope, I don't. There we go. All right, so obviously by 5, 6 o'clock, it's pretty much a done deal for us here in Arkansas. And then we go from there here. So I'm going to go ahead and go back over to the graphics. And I'm going to go ahead and go over, let me go back here. I'm going to go back to the timing. There we go. So I'm going to leave the timing map up because of, you know, a lot of people that will come in. That'll be the number one question that they ask here. So looking at the model, does the Union County expect a high wind potential? Yes. Now, like I said before, keep in mind, storms have to develop and storms have to realize the environment. It's just like baking a cake. You can have all your ingredients out there on the table ready to go. But if you don't have a person literally coming in and putting all those ingredients together and making the cake, it's not going to happen. So you can have potential all day. It's just like playing in sports. You can have potential all day to go pro, but it's up to you to realize that potential, if that makes sense. So we got to watch that for tomorrow. Everybody has that potential. It's just, can storms develop and can storms realize that potential? And if it does, then yes, you will have the threat for seeing the potential of high winds across the area for tomorrow. Fully anticipate tornado watches tomorrow. Fully anticipated here. I saw that one other comment here from Jeffrey. I'm going to say no. Now, further east, over to Mississippi, Tennessee, and Alabama, that may be a different story. But here in Arkansas, unless storms develop out here and not here, then I'm going to say no to that comment. And what a derecho pretty much is, folks that are going to ask, is pretty much a line of severe thunderstorms capable of producing 60-plus mile-per-hour winds for a long period and a long duration, pretty much. I think there's a certain threshold that it has to have. I think 58 mile-per-hour winds for at least, for at least 3 hours or so, if I'm correct. I don't expect that here in Arkansas, but I do worry on the other side of the Mississippi River. It just depends on when storms actually get going across the area here. You guys are asking some great questions, by the way, tonight. So if we were able to get out early in the morning in central Arkansas, stay out for a few hours, are we able to get out early in the morning and, stay out for a few hours, mostly in the early afternoon? Depends on where you are in central Arkansas. As you can see with the timing, we're going to go for 2 to pretty much 7 p.m. So I would recommend, if you got something to do tomorrow, get it done in the morning. Get it done first thing in the morning. I wouldn't really plan anything outdoors for the afternoon hours here, because that's when we're expecting this severe weather here. And keep in mind, folks, not everybody's going to see a tornado. Not everybody's going to see severe weather. And not everybody's going to see thunderstorms tomorrow. But we would rather tell you guys ahead of time and nothing happens than for us to not say anything and somebody gets hit by something. So keep that in mind for tomorrow here. But if you've got anything planned, I would definitely do it first thing tomorrow morning here. Okay, so let's see here. Yeah, so this is a great question here. Okay, so for everybody, all 75 counties, you're going to have gusty winds tomorrow. Okay, 35 to 45 mile per hour winds, non-thunderstorm. You're going to have gusty winds tomorrow. It's going to be a very breezy day across the area tomorrow, and even the first part of your Monday. What we mean about the severe winds, you're talking the 70, 80 plus mile per hour winds. That's what your severe thunderstorms. Those are what basically the wind potential that you would have if a storm develops, it goes up in the atmosphere, becomes severe, then you start getting localized 60, 70, 80 mile per hour winds. Everybody across the state is going to see at least 35 to 45 mile per hour winds, regardless if you see a thunderstorm or not, because of the system itself, if that makes sense. So let's see here. Working for the police department in DeWitt, what can we expect for Arkansas County? Michael, I got your timing up. You're going to be in zone 3. I've got you from 5 p.m. to 11. I would be on standby in Arkansas County for that potential of seeing some significant severe weather. I think you guys are right on that edge here. It really depends on what happens here. If you don't get storms to develop here, then what happens is these storms develop along the Mississippi River, and then they push east. If you got anybody in Mississippi, Tennessee, the Ohio Valley, over in the southeast, I would be warning them, because regardless of what happens here in Arkansas, they are going to see significant severe weather as we move into tomorrow night. So I would be giving them a heads up. But for your particular area, I think it's going to be mainly a damage wind, tornado threat. I think you're just outside of the strong tornado threat, but we'll keep an eye on it here, guys. Okay, so throwing up from what Kim has said, all the graphics are shown here. If you miss anything, you're going to be fine. As soon as this live stream comes to an end, we're going to have a severe weather package on the page. That's going to explain what the risks are, the timing, and all the other stuff. And then, and I'll probably more than likely be up till midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. I'll be up for that new day 1 that will come out. If nothing changes, we're not going to post anything. But if it were to go moderate, then obviously we'll have a special 1 a.m. update on the page. Not a live stream, just a regular post. But I don't know. I don't know with this one. Go ahead, Derek. What you got?
No, you're fine. So, off subject a little bit. So, for those of you that are tuning into us instead of the Razorback baseball game right now, we do appreciate you.
I love you guys.
We do appreciate you. Just to give everybody a quick update, I know it's a top 5 matchup. Arkansas is up 7-3 in the 8th inning. So, barring everything, they will win that series. Yes, I've seen comments about, we're watching you instead of the game because we didn't want to have a heartbreak.
Wow. First of all, I appreciate y'all. I forgot Arkansas was playing tonight. I appreciate y'all, man. That's great. Also, go football. Anyways, but on a serious note, yes, that's great. That's great. They struggled in that first game. What was it, the first game earlier today, the doubleheading? They struggled earlier, and I think we lost that. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. Taylor's not going to like us, by the way, but we're talking. All right. So yeah, I see Aaron. He said we need a sponsor for. I'm working on that. I had somebody reach out to me the other day and say, hey, we need to get you some different colors. So I'm working on that, Aaron. The weather call. I appreciate you guys. Go check out that link here. If y'all have any questions, and here's the deal. If y'all have any questions right now, this is the best time to ask me, okay? Because when we get to severe weather, primarily tornado warnings, I don't answer questions. I'm going over what the tornado warning is, the polygon, all that cool stuff. So if you've got somebody that that is got a good amount of questions here, send them in, okay? I'm going to be on here till about 8:30. Then we'll break away. We'll get stuff set up for tomorrow, and we'll go from there, guys. But if you've got people that have questions, send them in. I'm answering questions right now, guys. I've gone over all the graphics here. So let's see here. This is a good one. What is the fire weather before the storms? Ooh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, you can go ahead and you take that one.
All right. So this is actually one of those that is going to be a unique situation because we've had rain, but we've not had enough rain. And what I mean by that is, we still needed Coming into the month, we needed 15 to 20 inches to make up our deficit. We're still in the 10 to 15 inch range of needing rainfall in Arkansas. Tomorrow, your fire weather threat won't be as bad because you're going to have it is going to be absolutely humid as can be in the morning. Would not be shocked to wake up to our temperatures a little bit warmer than what they are right now or close to it, 60s at the minimum. Most of us will get to the 80s ahead of this line tomorrow, except for Northwest Arkansas. Your fire weather risk goes up tomorrow night and into the day on Monday because your temperatures go from the 80s to the 20s behind this front. Once your dew points drop and your humidity drops, that's when your threat of fire weather goes up. And because this event is not going to be producing more than a half an inch of rain, that means that we're going to be dealing with that fire weather on Monday and possibly Tuesday as well, while our humidity is on the lower side. So to answer your question, tomorrow I wouldn't worry about it as much, but as we go into tomorrow night and Monday behind the front, absolutely do not burn whatsoever.
That's a good point here. So man, I'm gonna have to watch that. Derek, I've got the wrap model up, and while you were answering that question, I got the wrap up over here. Somebody's gonna kill me in the comments about what it means. It's just it's a short range model, and it's got decent tornado potential. So we'll have to watch it for tomorrow. Let's see here. So I've answered that one. Let's go back over here. Hey Cameron, the call we get about you with the weather on the here is for each county. Just curious. So that particular weather call thing that you see on the right side of the screen, what it does here is, let's say there's a tornado warning polygon, okay, and you just so happen to be inside that polygon, it calls you, okay. But then let's say if you're outside of said polygon, but it's like this, okay, it will not call you because it doesn't want to overwarn you, if that makes sense here. And I know there's, I'd rather be overwarned than under, but it's designed to where if you're not in that polygon, it does not wake you up for no reason, if that makes sense. It only calls you if you find yourself inside the polygon, the tornado warning polygon. And it can be for anybody. Everybody, all 75 counties, is fair game for it. You can go out in Oklahoma, you can go to Texas, Louisiana, anywhere across the country, it works. It's not bounded for just the county. It's if you find yourself in a polygon or not. That's what it really is based off of. That's why when John reached out to us about that, I was like, hey, let's do this because it's going to save a lot of lives down the road here. Okay, so the timing for Southwest Arkansas Little River, that's down there where that one little sticker is. We've got you from noon to 5 o'clock. And I think down there, I'll have to keep an eye on it here. Some of the data is wanting to throw up some cells down there in Southwest Arkansas, so we've got to watch it here. So you always give us severe weather. We deserve care packages. Shoot, y'all need to be giving me one. I'm up here with the severe weather and everything here. Look, I don't bring severe weather, okay? That will be that man back there. I just cover it. That's all I do. So speaking of care package, Taylor, did you ever, I don't know if she's ever got we had somebody inquire the other day about Amazon and bringing snacks up here and all that. So I don't know if we've got that built out yet or not, but yeah, no, look, if we could get a situation tomorrow where this pushes through and nobody gets severe weather, I'm gravy, okay? We're gravy. Like, we're gravy.
See, it's like I tell him, you don't have this problem when it's cold outside. Okay, so you don't have this problem when it's cold outside. This is why winter will always be better than spring or summer, because you don't have to deal with severe weather. This is why winter is always the best.
Y'all, he must not have been here during that winter storm back in late January. He must not have been here for that, because that was a nightmare. So, I love this one. Hoo, race bass, woo, pig suey, baby. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. All day. We can improve our football team, but we'll talk about that later. But yeah, don't forget to share this live stream here. I appreciate each and every one of y'all for tuning in. We're just trying to make it a little less serious. With severe weather, it causes a lot of anxiety. So if you hear me up here cracking the jokes, not me being unprofessional, it's just trying to level the mood here a little bit, guys. Okay, so severe weather is stressful, and I want you guys to not be stressed out tomorrow here, because it's going to be a situation that it's going to get a little rough for some people, but we got you covered here. So I'm a fire chief in Saline County. Jody, I appreciate you. Would like to know the conditions for the fire weather. Derek, I think you went over that. For that potential for tomorrow here. I think it's mainly going to be Sunday night and a Monday. Monday is definitely a fire weather day with your low humidity, the gusty winds. I think Monday will probably take the cake with that, but that's a good concern to have for tomorrow here, especially with the high wind potential here. So let's see here. I talk about that here. So we joined the first alert. Great deal to have. Terry, thank you so much. Recommend it to your family and friends. I promise you that $15 a year, you pay one time, and that $15 a year, you won't even notice it when it comes to severe weather, because it will call you, it'll give you a heads up. It's a great product here. I wouldn't be up here promoting it if I didn't have it on my phone myself. So thank you so much, Terry, for doing that for us here. So yeah, what's up?
Mentioned that the current app that we have out.
Yes.
Also does the.
Yeah. You can go ahead. Yeah, you go ahead.
So just a reminder, so our current app that we have out, we are doing upgrades, but the current app that we have out works phenomenal, and it does also give you those warning alerts and watches alert as well, especially when it comes to the watches. I know we were having issues with the Apple side of things for a little bit. We didn't know about it, but we've got that fixed. So you get a call from Weather Call, a text from Weather Call, and you also, in the case of watches and stuff, you do get from our app as well. So we have multiple sources. When we say multiple sources for you to get weather alerts, this is how you do it. Weather Call, the AWW app, the Roku channel is always up 24/7. It will be running full steam ahead, so you can follow along before the storms get going or before we're live. It's going to be in severe weather alert mode tomorrow, so you'll be able to see the risk area near your town. Yeah. So we have multiple ways, and Cameron has absolutely been working his behind off all fall, all winter long, to develop all of these products for you. And I mean, when I say cutting edge technology, none that anybody else has in the state, that's what I mean.
Yep. So, like I said before, I'm going to be here to 8:30. So, guys, I want to stress something real quick. I don't go over specific location questions during a tornado warning. It just doesn't happen. A lot of people get upset with us about it. It's okay. I don't do it. Okay. This is the main reason why we do these Q&A services before the severe weather strikes. Is because what happens is during tornado warnings, everybody thinks it's okay to ask the location question, and we simply just can't do it. So right now, guys, this is the time. I'm stressing right now. I'm not going to sit here tomorrow with a tornado warning and worrying about somebody that's getting upset with us because we're not answering their question. This is the time right now here, guys. Okay, I know we've got other activities going on right now. It's a Saturday night. A lot of people are not worried about tomorrow, and that's fine. That's great. But I want to stress right now, this is the time to ask a question. It's the time right now to do it, because tomorrow when we're live, we're a tornado warning, that is the worst time to ask for our moderators to answer your question. It just doesn't happen. And we actually trained them not to answer those questions unless you find yourself under one of those tornado warnings for tomorrow, guys. Okay, so hang on, wait a minute. Hang on, I got this one. Hang on. Hey, Cameron, nice to meet you. I'm Cameron. So, will Parago be hit by tornadoes tomorrow, or any chances up there here? So you have a pretty significant chance up there for seeing tornadoes up there in northeast Arkansas tomorrow. You're obviously in that zone 3. That's going to be from 5 p.m. to 11 over there in eastern Arkansas for tomorrow here. And I would go over the tornado risk, by the way. I just want to leave this up because 90% of our questions is timing. And this pretty much breaks it down level by level who's going to see what tomorrow. But I will go over the timing graphic once the live stream's pretty much up and done here, guys. Okay, so let's see here. Timing for, at least I already got that. I love this one from Ash. I've been watching you guys again since moving back to Arkansas. Welcome back to Arkansas. I haven't once said we're all in the same boat once. Started watching you guys to begin with, and then I always got a kick when you said that here. So I only say that if Arkansas is everybody in the state's going to see severe weather. That's the only time I say that. And Fortunately, so far, it's been either central or eastern or western Arkansas by themselves. Everybody hasn't really been in the same boat. There will be a time, probably in April or May, that will happen. But that's a great comment. Yeah, I haven't said it yet because we haven't had every single person in a severe risk here. But I guess tomorrow you could say that here. So. Let me see here. What is the number to get this? Okay, so someone's already got that. I am way behind on these comments, Derek. I am way behind on them. So, let's see. I'm going through them right now. So, I see it somewhere here. What is? I'm going through them here. Okay, I see summer's better than winter, 1,000,000,000%. Love that comment. Always staying for summer here. I know we got severe weather, but I love you guys. I'm across the river here, and I always watch you guys. What's happening in the southern, for my southern brothers and sisters here. I appreciate you. This is why we do this. We're not just strictly Arkansas. We do cover, quote unquote, cover. We give a heads up to our neighboring states. That's Louisiana, Tennessee, Mississippi, Texas, Oklahoma, Missouri, and even up there in southeastern Kansas, guys. So we try our best to make sure that we cover everybody here. Okay, so let's see here. Summer, I don't do TourCon here. There's a specific reason why I don't do it, because I think it leads to a lot of confusion. But tomorrow I may or may not post the significant tornado graphic. I'm really edged about it because I don't know how well it's going to do tomorrow. I would like to not post it tomorrow and see how accurate it does. But if we get past tomorrow here for future events, I will start to post that. That way people can kind of get a feel where the best tornado potential is going to be, if that makes sense here. So let's see here. You cracking me up. I love you from Bono. Yeah, I try to make this environment as friendly as possible, guys. I try my best. Let's see here. Ryan, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. Hey, quick shout out to Ryan. He is our chief engineer. We wouldn't have nowhere near the products we've got right now one for that man. So quick shout out to him, man. I appreciate the hard work you do for us. So thank you to our team for the excellent weather. Please keep the zone 3 and your prayers coming from wind here. Yeah, we have 2 cameras, 2 sky cameras in the wind area if you need to, kind of for that peace of mind. Quick shout out to the fire department in wind, and also a quick shout out to Witcher Auctions in wind for that camera.
We'll only have one.
Only have one?
Yep.
Okay, so Witcher is down.
Yep.
Oh man, somebody needs to tell Scott to go plug it in and unplug it and plug it back in and see what happens here. But seriously though, we have a sky cam in the area here. If that provides a little bit of peace of mind, so you can see what's going on. But yeah, we'll definitely nice so far. I've got you guys covered here. We're gonna get through tomorrow. We've been through so much worse over the last 2 to 3 years, guys. We've got you guys covered. I promise you here. So I think he should be fine because it says the earlier start for Little Rock will be 2 o'clock. Yes, I don't know if you were responding to a comment or not. But if it's early in the morning, because you have church and everything like that, if it's first thing Sunday morning, you're going to be good to go. Okay, most everybody is going to be fine tomorrow morning. It's going to be breezy, but you're going to be fine much of the day on Sunday. It's Sunday afternoon and the Sunday evening is where things will start to kind of ramp up across the area. Really great comment here, by the way. Make sure your phones are charged and you've got stuff for power outages here, because probably, Derek, after this live stream is over, don't let me forget, I'm probably going to generate a power outage graphic for that particular situation here. As a matter of fact, Derek, that just gave me an idea. I'll talk to you separately about that after this live stream. So, let's see. Oh, it's great. It's a product idea. It's great. Oh, yeah. So do you think the cabin area gets into a moderate? I'm going to say no right now. I'm going to say no. Because from what I have seen in the past with similar setups like this, it normally leads to a cold front just pushing through the area before things really start to get bad enough for that. I'm going to say no. That does not mean to let your guard down, because you still get severe weather regardless of that. But I'm going to say no for right now. Now, I could be easily corrected by 1 o'clock in the morning and SPC puts one out, and that would be a level 4. Right now, no. Right now, no. I think this is a really solid level 3, and I think it needs to stay that way unless there is overwhelming evidence that this frontal boundary is going to get hung up in western Arkansas. If that happens, then yes, there needs to be a level 4 in eastern Arkansas. But until that is painfully clear, I don't. No. But that does not mean let your guard down. You can still see severe weather. I just don't think there's enough evidence right now for them to do it. So we'll have to watch that. And that's something that we got to watch tonight in the first part of your Sunday morning here. Okay, so. Oh, beautiful. Are QLCS tornadoes less dangerous than the isolated ones from supercells? Really great question. I'm going to say that the supercell tornadoes, quote unquote, is a little bit. I want to be real. I'm trying to find the right words to say here, because it just depends. It's case by case. If from our perspective, the QLCS is a lot more dangerous, because the QLCS, you can't see it. 9 times out of 10, it's a situation where it's coming at you like 60 miles per hour, and you don't have a lot of time to react. When it's a supercell, you got time to react, if that makes sense here. So I would say the QLCS is here, supercell is probably like right here. That's what I would say with that here. Go ahead, Derek. What you got?
Let me add and piggyback off of that. So in my years both chasing and the broadcast in the industry, the biggest thing is about QLCS is that a lot of times they go unwarned, which is why the National Weather Service came up with the tornado possible tags, because sometimes you're just going to miss it. Because a lot of times, for example, what happened in Sevier County earlier last week, well, there was a tornado that went unwarned because it went under the radar, one scan in, out, and gone. When it comes to QLCS tornadoes, like Cameron said, they're faster, but you can get a EF4 in a QLCS line just like you can a supercell. Supercell, your risk is greater for those stronger, long-lived, long-track tornadoes. Example being Wynn 23, Little Rock 23, Cave City a year ago tonight, Diaz a year ago tonight. So again, those are your supercell type tornadoes. Those are more dangerous because they're easier to predict because it's a supercell environment. With the QLCS, it's a line of storm, and you may have an entire line from Mountain Home to Magnolia that has nothing but tornado warnings on it, or you may have a line of storm that has rotating storms with dropping those quick, brief tornadoes that are in, out, and gone. So realistically, for visual supercells, or if you want a visual and a better chance of getting a warning, QLCS are more dangerous because of the alertability of them, because a lot of times line of storms go unnoticed because people tend to pay less attention to them because it's a severe thunderstorm warning.
So I saw this other comment here from Summer. This pulls a heartstring for me personally, because I'm honored that you think that we have the great service here in Arkansas, and I really appreciate the comment here, because a lot of hard work does go into these graphics and making sure that you guys are staying weather aware here. But other states don't have it as blessed as us, and we are working to change that. It's going to be a long-term plan, but we are working to try to change that. And there are folks out there, I think it's like Mississippi Live or something like that. I know Jared Floyd down there in Louisiana. He does great for Northeastern Louisiana. It's the digital weather desk down there. I know David over at Texas Storm Chasers. They do great over there. So there are people that are starting to get to where we're doing in terms of providing coverage for those other states here. But that is a long-term goal, is to start working with other people to try to bring better weather coverage to those areas here. Because Arkansas is great, but if you live in Louisiana, all this information is pretty much useless, right? So I appreciate that comment. It means a lot, Summer, that you hold us to that standard. It makes a world of a difference here. So let's see here. We only got about 10 minutes left, guys, and then I think we're going to gonna call it quits here. I think from Ash, he said that put the camera on ice in the bag of not ice on rice. Put the camera on the rice. Yeah. So yeah. Oh yeah. I had a conversation with Scott earlier here. I'm gonna have to tell him, man. He's gonna have to improve because we need that camera up. So, but anyways, that stuff happens here. So from Chandler. Yeah, I asked earlier about a storm shelter where a door wouldn't close fully. Is that safe, or would a strong building be better here, Derek? I got that question. Don't want to be rude or pushy here. Chandler, first of all, you're not rude and you're not pushy, brother. I promise you. You know, the only reason why we say that is because we don't want people getting upset when we can't get to a million questions. That's just how it is. But your question is very, very important. What I would recommend is getting into a strong building. Now, if you need to replace your storm shelter, we've got a great company, Tornado Shelters, Storm Shelters Incorporated, and BB. They do an amazing job. Get with him, get with Jim and Jimmy personally, and they'll get you lined out. But until then, getting into a strong building will be the best recommendation for you because you don't want to run the risk of there's a strong tornado and you can't close that door, because if you can't close the door of a storm shelter, it's pretty much useless. So I would recommend doing that. Finding a friend, finding a family member or something like that. With it being during the day, it provides a lot more opportunities here. So what I would do is say, hey, you know, we've got a tornado coming. I can make it to Kroger just like that, or I can make it to Walmart, or I can make it to these other stores within reasonable time, right? You do that, okay? But that's what I would recommend. And like I said, guys, y'all ask as many questions as possible. That's why we do a Q&A. Because I don't want you guys asking this stuff during a tornado warning. I want y'all to ask it now when there's nothing going on. That way you get your question answered, you get the information, and we all go into tomorrow with a game plan here, if that makes sense here, okay? So, Kim, I've been following these guys pretty much since they started. They just keep getting better and better. I appreciate that. I love you guys for putting us on a pedestal like this, okay? Now, obviously, all of us here at this team is humble. There will never be a period where we're saying, oh, we can't get better. There will always be days, and my grandpa told me this at a very young age. You can always get better. You can always be teachable. That's just how it is. So I appreciate you for putting us on that pedestal, and that's what we're going to continue to do is get better and better and better and better and better here, guys. Okay, so let's see here. I know how many comments y'all are getting, but I'm really praying that I can understand these risks understand the risk for the area here. So his route would be through Little Rock at noon and continuing west. Okay, so that's a good thing. That's a good thing here, because if your route's coming through noon here in Little Rock, you're going west. So if you're going west, if storms hadn't developed out here and you go west and storms develop over here, then you're going to be good. You're going to be good over here in Western Arkansas. You're going to be gravy. But if storms do develop here, you got to watch it. That's just what we mean here. So it's broken down zone 1, zone 2, and zone 3. So zone 1 is going to be from noon to 5 p.m. Zone 2 is going to be from 2 p.m. to 7. And then over here at zone 3, it's going to be from 5 p.m. to 11. So let's say he's traveling through Little Rock through noon, and then he's got to go west, okay? You run a 50-50 shot of dealing with some storms, but the further west you get, the lower your risk is going to get for tomorrow, if that makes sense here. So I hope that answered your question here. So there's potential, but if storms, let's say storms don't develop out here in West Arkansas and they develop here. Well, if he's in Little Rock, he's going west, he's going to miss all the severe weather. It's just going to be very, very windy over there, and then you're going to be good. So I hope that clarifies some things for you here. And, you know, feel free to always ask those questions, guys. I promise you it's not going to hurt anything. Let's see. This is a good one from Madison. I've got 3 kids under 6 years old. I have one that's 6 months old as well. What is the best way to keep them safe with no storm shelter? It just depends on the household that you live in, Madison. And what I would recommend for folks that have kids, and when it comes to severe weather, I saw this amazing video the other day about trying to make it to like a game, if that makes sense. Getting into that safe spot and then bringing stuff like toys and stuff to kind of keep the mood somewhat stabilized, if that makes sense. If you guys are getting what I'm getting at here. I saw it the other day. It was an amazing idea. So what I would recommend is, if you don't have a storm shelter, you live in a building, getting in that center lowest spot of your home, okay? That varies from everybody. It's a case by case for everybody. It could be a kid's room, it could be a bathroom, it could be a closet, it could be, I know some places that it's a kitchen. It just really depends. Everybody's house is built different, but your focus should be the middle part of the home and the one room that does not have the windows or is right next to an outside wall, if that makes sense. That should be your primary focus for tomorrow if you don't have a storm shelter. But like I said before, not every single person in Arkansas is going to see a tornado. Not every single person tomorrow is going to see severe thunderstorms. But I want you guys to be prepared. And that's a really good question, Madison. So, Derek, what do you got over there?
Oh, so just, for those of you who are still watching us instead of the game, Arkansas won the series against Mississippi State. So, just letting everybody know that.
WPS. All day. All day. All day, baby. All day, love it. Taylor's not gonna be a fan of us, but it's gonna be okay. It's all about that hashtag WPS, baby. That's all what that means. So, for Summer, her question is, I couldn't survive in another state. I'm spoiled with our people here. It's sad that they don't. Yeah, and like I said before, we started it here in Arkansas. I know James Bryant, Zach Hall, and Blaze. They're doing it with the Arkansas Weather Network. Those boys are amazing. Absolutely love them. I would suggest, guys, if we're not, if we're in a situation where I'm covering a warning and we've got 10 of them, they will probably be your best source, your next alternate source for weather, because those guys do amazing over there. And I know James personally. Southwest Arkansas Weather, they do great as well. So we've got a lot of people that are, taking that initiative and going and trying to do it. But I know for other states, they haven't gotten that yet. And there hasn't been that one person. Derek started this in 2014. I was still living in El Dorado. I was a 16-year-old kid in El Dorado when we started this. It's just going to take somebody, that has that drive and wants to do this in a long game for it to work for the other states here. And that's our goal. That's our goal long term, is to try to make that happen here. Okay, so
to be honest, the next state that has anything better or as good as us is James Spann, Alabama.
Right, Mississippi and Alabama. Yeah. Yeah. Don't kill me for that. I'm gonna get a message from James Spann himself. He's like, "Hey, y'all better acknowledge me over here." But anyways, yeah, we're gonna try to make it work for everybody here, but. Like I said, I got a few more minutes, guys. I think that's pretty much going to be it. I'm going to go over everything here. Oh, this is a good one, Derek. The Savannah Banana game, the time. Do you know the time for that? Do you know the time? I forgot about that, the one here in Little Rock. If you can get me a time real quick, that'd be great. Susan, I will get back to your comment coming up here in just a second here. So, let me see. Let me go all the way down here. Love this comment as well. Big shout out to Derek Cameron and all the team for shouting out and all the sponsors that make Arkansas Weather Watchers happen. Y'all are my go-to. Cool thing, Rodney, is we wouldn't be here if it weren't for our sponsors. We wouldn't be doing this. There's a lot of infrastructure costs and everything like that. We wouldn't be here for them. Quick shout out to, Little T's up there in Mount Home. If y'all are ever up there, go give that man some business. Go give him some business up there. It's a perfect time of the year with it being spring. Go give him some business, guys. The sponsors you guys see on these graphics, we would not be doing this if it wasn't for them. If they weren't powering all of our infrastructure stuff and everything, we would not be doing this whatsoever. We wouldn't be doing it. So if you guys ever see a sponsor on a graphic, go get them some business. Go say it came from me personally, and go get them some business, guys. Here, okay? So let's see. Do what?
I've got the time.
Yeah, what's the time?
Okay, so tomorrow, it does look like it will be done before severe weather hits. The start of that is so they're starting everything at 10 o'clock in the morning, with the game time at noon. So they should be done. And of course, I also worked with the Arkansas Travelers for many years. I worked there when I was in high school. and I worked on the grounds crew. They have a very solid staff and a very strict regulation when it comes to lightning, when it comes to storms in the area. So when it comes to severe weather, they know how to handle a situation and will handle it to make sure everybody's safe. So biggest thing is, if you're going tomorrow, go. It's a once in a lifetime experience. Me personally, I lived and breathed Dickie Stevens for 5 years. So again, in the baseball industry, they are equipped to handle this type of situation better than most sporting events.
So I think that is pretty much it for right now. It's 8:30, guys. I would love to get to everybody here, but we also got to get ready for tomorrow. I saw Rose's comments here. Yeah, Zach Hall, Blaze, Ryan Vaughn, those guys, they do great. Great coverage, guys. I love each and every one of them. They take care of Arkansas just like we take care of Arkansas. So I'm all for supporting people that are reputable, that don't hype anything up, that are actually credible and everything like that. I'm all for people that are trying to change people's lives here across the area, guys. So may need that camera in the River Valley tomorrow. Man, Todd, we're going to try to get you that camera, man. It's just been busy. So other than that here, so I think that's pretty much it here. I see that one comment from Shelly. I will get that background changed. Thank you so much for bringing that up. We will get that taken care of for the next live stream. You do not have to worry about that. That is a health concern and it's very valid. We'll get that taken care of here. I appreciate you bringing that up to me. So with your new model has that massive area across central Arkansas, and why northeastern Arkansas is in a higher threat, it's because, number one, like I said, that graphic that you saw is an experimental. It's an experimental graphic that we have in-house. It's not going to be perfect, and it probably will not do too well tomorrow. We don't know yet. I haven't tested it out that far. But it highlights that area because I think what ends up happening is it becomes a line of storms over here. And then what happens is your tornado threat is greater here versus here, if that makes sense. So that particular graphic you guys saw earlier, it's experimental. It just gives us here in the Weather Center like, hey, this is what we are thinking this best area is going to be. But I think by the time we get to tomorrow, once it gets a new set of data, it could easily change here. So other than that, I think that's pretty much it. Thank you so much. Thank y'all so much. Y'all are awesome here, and we will we'll cut it off there, Derek. I think that's pretty much it. I think we've gone over everything. So what we will do is after this live stream is over, we will post these graphics on Facebook. So if you follow us on Facebook, there's going to be this massive severe weather package out that's going to have timing and all the other graphics on there. And that's pretty much it here, guys. And we'll see you guys tomorrow here. Unless something majorly happens at 1 a.m., I think we'll probably hit you guys up first thing tomorrow morning. Probably have some sort of quick live stream right around 11:30. And then game time tomorrow afternoon with the severe weather here, guys. So I think that's pretty much it. Aaron, right on the nail, man. Significant amount of work and a ton of support to get us where we are now. And things are going to improve more. Like Shelly's comment, for example, seeing that medical concern. We'll get that taken care of in the next live stream. Don't worry. So other than that, guys, I appreciate y'all, and we'll continue to keep you guys updated right here, your source for all things Arkansas weather.